Hi and welcome to my channel. It's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. Happy 21st of June, everybody. So let's get the Decision Maker app out. Let me go back to the right one because I was doing another diamond painting. And let's see if we are getting anything on the left side of the painting or if we're sticking on the right. Number 6. We do have something on the left side of the painting. Whoop whoop. We're going up here. So I do need my clips. I knew they were handy, I just wasn't sure how handy. So let's get the diamond painting clipped on. Just move my tray and pen and wax out the way and tuck that underneath. And then I do need to have a little bit of a shuffle. So let me move number 2 up and then I know which line we're sort of following as to what we've done before. And then let me straighten up number 11 with this bottom one. And we'll go that away. Oh, got quite a few different colours on this section. So let's get cracking. What should we start with? Let's start with the K, which is quite a bit of this up here. So we'll tip quite a few diamonds in. Oh, I've got a rogue one. It's definitely not the right colour blue. But I'm going to start by getting myself boxed in a mixture of across and upwards, I think. Box in a little section. These diamonds are, or this colour of diamond, it's a little bit nicer than some of the others. It's one of the blues that's not very nice to work with, but this 995 is not as bad. They're still not the best, but they're not the worst out of the bunch. So today's pen is from Diamond Painting Pen Creations. As far as I know, they do still only ship to the UK. But I love, absolutely love the colours in this pen. I think it's so pretty. I actually, when I've got out all my pens and lined them up ready for this event, to make sure that I'm going through each one, ones that I've bought, ones that I've been gifted, cheaper ones, dearer ones, make sure I'm going through all of them. I did wonder where this pen was, and I figured it was just in my little cart, and then I looked the other day and it wasn't there, and I was like, oh. But I never went on a full hunt for it because I still had pens to go through. And then I went to do the mystery painting that I kitted up a bit ago. I still am working on that one because I finished the custom. I got out the mystery and this pen was just sat in the case. So obviously I've just finished one evening, put my pen down, closed the lid on the case, not zipped it up or anything, and just left this pen in there. But at least I know where it is. Megan has got a pen from them as well in the green, which is her favourite colour. So I may have to borrow that for another day because my pen stash is not quite stretching to a full 30 days at the moment, but we'll keep going until I've used them all. And I think Megan might have a couple actually. I think I got her one from Lathe Works. And then she's got the one from Diamond Painting Pen Creations. So I will borrow her pens if required and see if we do end up needing a duplicate or not. I've not quite done the full maths yet. So going on to comments. So Sharon says she's really enjoying the June waffle event and seeing all the diamond paintings emerge. She said there are 2 on the Facebook group who are doing the same mystery painting that has us baffled. What is your guess at what it is? So from the images I've seen and the sort of the orientation of the picture, so the picture is orientated this way on their images. It needs to be turned this way. And that's the way I think it should go. I think it's shells and an oyster with pearls. I'm thinking that's what it is from what I've seen. And I've seen it most days. I haven't seen it every day. Sometimes I'm looking at the thread where everybody's posting stuff, and some days it depends what time of day I get to have a look at them to how many of them I see, because some people post at different times, of course. So if I look too early, I might not get to see them all. Depends on what sort of time I have as to when I get to have a look. But I have seen that one. That is what I think it is, but I could be wrong. It seems to have the colourings. It seems to remind me of a picture I have seen. I don't think it's ever one I've had, but I do browse quite a few sites choosing paintings for unboxings, and that's where I think I may have seen it. If I come across it at some point when I am browsing, I'll try and remember to take a screenshot. But I wouldn't have a clue what site it was I'd seen it on. But yeah, it's lovely to see all the pictures coming together. And it's nice to see, people that are doing the same pattern that I am, and those that aren't. So it makes it a little bit different. It's just nice to see how they come together. I know some people are using the Decision app to decide their own. Some are just following it in blocks. I know there was somebody who was following it by colour and just doing one colour because she had 30 colours in her painting. Though I do think she's changed to doing it in sections since, after realising a few were missed. I think I read that anyway. I suppose it depends on the size of the painting and how blocky it is as to how easy it is to miss something. If you try and do a very confetti-like painting just by colour, it can be so easy to miss some. I mean, I've missed some in this, and I wouldn't class this as a high confetti painting. There are sections that are, but if I was doing this by colour, then, I would be looking for some of these ones in the likes of the veins of the trees. And then, I could ignore the blocks of colour if that wasn't the colour I was doing. But some very high confetti paintings, I can imagine it's really, really hard to make sure that you get all the colours. We've all been known to miss them. I've even done them doing them on small sections, so goodness knows what it'd be like doing it on a big painting. But you've tried the challenge, and at the end of the day, that is what it's all about. It's trying the different ways of doing things and just changing it up a bit, keeping it a little bit fresh, and enjoying the process. Whether you enjoy the process by mixing up how you do your paintings, or whether you enjoy the process by doing it the same way each and every time, really doesn't matter as long as you're enjoying it. It's when you're not that you may need to change how you're doing stuff. So yeah, that's what my thought it is, Sharon. Tracy Good Enough Says Row Diamonds sell the glow-in-the-dark ABs. Cool, thank you for that. I do need to go hunting for some different types of diamonds. I've just not had a chance yet to. I wouldn't say I'm a huge shopper. I sometimes can be if, you know, something's going on, if I'm decorating a room in the house, then, you know, I can spend quite a bit of time going through a few different sites. I know when we had to look for a new TV cabinet, spent ages looking at sites to make sure that we'd got the right one. But if it's not something that's urgent, I sort of have to wait until I'm in the mood to go on a proper browse. And sometimes other things just take more of a priority. I did go shopping today, but it was for parcel tape and packing boxes. Not exciting at all, but easy to shop for because I knew what I was getting. Rebecca says hello from Perth, Australia. Hello. When it's time to hang her own Heaven and Earth design, she's looking at making her own poster hanger bars out of skirting boards and using screws to hold them together, because hers is 209 centimetres by 159. Wow, that is big. And it's that heavy, she thinks that'll be her best option. That sounds like a very good plan, actually, because hanger bars are basically two pieces of wood, whereas with skirting boards you get that thicker look, depending on how thick you go, but the wood tends to be deeper and therefore it might give better strength, especially if you've got the space to be able to screw through it. It will give it a bit of a better grip and hold on to that canvas a bit better. Denise says she's really enjoying the waffle this month. Oh, I am glad. I do think some people get a little bit more enjoyment out of the June one, because of course the Christmas one, there is so much going on for everybody. It's a very busy time of year in December, so I understand that not everybody can join in, and I think June allows some people that don't have the time in December to join in on the June instead. But even though December is a busy month, I think anybody that can join in should, even if they can't do every day, catch up after Christmas. But just try and get those few days in that you can, even if you have to complete the painting once the festivities have calmed down. Then try and get yourself that little bit of time each day. Try and squirrel it away. And if you can't, don't fret over it. You know, there's always that, well, sometimes, depending on the household, there's that little bit of a lull between Christmas and New Year where you could catch up and still be done in the month of December. Denise has finally got her own craft room. Awesome. She's got it done. She says it's full of IKEA units. Yep, so's mine. Just got to get my diamond paintings on the wall. She says, I love your shop. She says, do you think your husband could design a tray holder for those of us that have multiple of your trays? Because they're a brilliant design and so comfy to use. I'm not sure if that is something that would work on the 3D printer. The only reason being is the printer bed. So, you know, the part that the printer spits the 3D filament stuff onto to do the design can be limited in size. And it actually takes, say, about 3 hours to print a tray. So if we had to get it to do you know, lines to do a base, and then sides, and then a base, and then sides. It could only possibly be a tall one, which you could then have connecting, but I just envision the time it would take to print would be hours. To print one, it could potentially take a whole day to print one, because the longest part of printing a tray is the base. Just because it's so much of an area. I think it might be something that would be better made out of wood. If we had a workshop or even a garage, that might be something we'd look into, but I'm not sure. Maybe that's something I can see. I don't even know. I might have to see if I can find something craft storage wise that is already made that would fit them and work with them perfectly. We just need more space, and we need to be good at all the woodworking and pen making and all sorts of stuff. Would be awesome to be able to do. I'm not sure about that one, Denise. You may be able to make something out of foam board potentially, and make something that goes together. But I think something made out of wood would potentially be the best option for storing trays, just for sturdiness. And I don't know a wood maker. My brain's whirring with different things that are out there and wondering whether the sizes would work. You know, whether we could get something that's been made for something else but works with the trays. I'll have to have a think and a Google. Josie Cook says she's ordered the white tray. Oh, let me put that diamond down. And has been using it for a couple of days now. She says finally a tray that lines up her drills. She doesn't hold it on her tray, but she has it on the side on the sticky pad. And she actually didn't realise that it had these little finger holes. I'm not even sure if you can see it. Hang on, let me grab another one. So it has on the side these divots for holding, for, you know, just something to rest your fingers on. She didn't realise it had that, because she just puts it on by the side of her. Right, I'm going to zoom in. Oh, I'm going to have to scoot over, aren't I? Let me move my computer over so I can move my easel, because my camera's mounted above my head. Just trying to make sure my diamond painting that's tucked underneath my easel is still in one piece. What's the next question or comment? The cat lady says there is a Hatfield in South Yorkshire that has many paths around fields and moors. So there was a question the other day about, I can't remember exactly what word it was she used. Was it historic paths or something, I think, where she went on different walks when she lived in a place in the UK. Lived or visited. I can't quite remember which off the top of my head now, but it was a question in a previous whip and chat. So the cat lady says there is a Hatfield in South Yorkshire that has many paths around the fields and onto the moors, and there's another near Welling City Garden too. So there you go. If I don't know the answer to a question, somebody will. So thank you for that, cat lady. Oh, Talita says, Rebecca, can I use photo paper for covering sheets? I've not tried it. You might be okay with the glossy side of photo paper, but I wouldn't test it on something you're precious about. I wouldn't say you could use it double-sided because it tends to be matte on the other side, whereas these have like a silicone coating, which is what makes them work for diamond painting anyway. So I'm not sure. I haven't tested that one. But give it a go, but on a small corner of a painting you're not precious about. I wouldn't expect it to stick the same way paper does, but it could. It may be something that's not easy to peel up again, and that's my only concern with it, is whether it will take the glossy side of the photo paper off and actually stick that to your diamond painting, which would not be good. It's not the kind of outcome that you want. The opposite side, the matte side of it, definitely I'd say no to that one. I don't think I'd even test that one. Right, I think I'm going to do slightly different now, in that I'm going to get these A's, and I've just spotted no I missed. It's probably not going to let me pick one up now because the wax, oh, one got stuck to the side of my pen, so I'll use that one. Yeah, I'm going to switch to A, and I forgot to rearrange my boxes the other day. Sure, I mentioned I was going to rearrange the boxes that I've emptied in my storage. I've still not done it. It's because I didn't do it at the time. So we'll see if I remember later in this video. Probably not. Let's be real. Probably won't happen, but there's a slim chance, especially now I've mentioned that I've forgotten once already. There's a slim chance of me remembering. But I'm going to get this this is all the skyline. Get this block done. There's some really awful drills in this one. See if I can pick out the ones that are a little bit better and hope that I've got lots. But there's one here that's got proper divot in the side of it. Quite often, if you've got a few bad drills, you can sort of mix them in with the better looking ones, and then you don't really notice when you step away from it. But sometimes they are just a little bit too much, not shaped like a square, and therefore it's just not even worth trying. I've had some that are diamonds. Yeah, they definitely don't work as well. But most of these are not too bad. Okay, so that's that section of A. Let's get this top part, and then I do need to have a look at another question. I think I need to put more wax in my pen as well. Ooh. I keep dropping diamonds and they keep rolling off my easel onto my desk. It's better than when I was dropping them yesterday, because they rolled off my easel onto my lap and then went onto the couch and ended up goodness knows where. The Hoover will find them later on in the week, no doubt. I could catch the odd one of them, but not all of them. That's the only thing about working on an easel, is if you drop a diamond, it tends to just roll. Rolls and goes bye-bye. Ooh. Just trying to see, there's quite a few. Talita's put quite a bit of a message on here, which I love to see, but sometimes it's trying to find the questions. I think that is the main question that she's asked. She's loving the videos though. Oh, thank you. Eri has said, have you ever considered making deep-sided trays? She's super clumsy and spills the shallow trays so often. She recently purchased a deep-sided tray and she loves it. This tray is sort of in the middle. It is fairly deep as far as trays go. Many of the other trays that I've had are quite a bit thinner than this. They're quite a bit of a chunk down. So this is quite a thick tray, though it's not super deep. To go a whole lot deeper though could potentially put another hour's printing time on. So I'm not sure how practical it would be to go even deeper. And it's another thing that I'll put on the list as a possibility. I'm not sure how much it would work though. Just due to printing time more than anything. Printers are already worked to their limit, bless them. Let's get some more wax. Oh, Anne Smith says the silicone mat, that's what it's called. Yes, it is. So there was a question the other day about whether my easel moves when I'm working on it. Now, mine doesn't move much. Like every now and then it might do a very slight shift if I press down really hard, but it doesn't move often. However, Megan's easel can move a little bit, definitely more often than mine does. So she actually has a silicone mat that she sits underneath her easel and it stops it from moving. Some people also use the silicone mats on top of their diamond paintings to hold, you know, trays and stuff. Doesn't tend to work when they're on an angle, so it doesn't work with the angle of the easel to use a silicone mat. They're not quite as sticky. Depends on how much of an incline you have. But if you do work on a flat surface, some people use the silicone mat, or a slight rise. I think they do use those silicone mats, though they're not as sticky as the one I used the other day. But yes, it's a silicone mat that Megan uses under her easel and it works fantastic. Okay, what do I want to use now? Let's go for M. I've got so many bitty colours now, trying to see what bitty bits I can get before I do the blocks of colour. And I've probably tipped out far too many diamonds for what I need. But we've got another random little purple one in here as well. Is that them all? Yeah. Just see if I can move that up a little bit. I kind of feel like you want to be able to see what I'm doing, but you sort of can't see everything I keep doing off screen. Let me try an in between, so at least you can see my tray when it comes in and what I'm moving about with, ever so slightly anyway. Sort of see when I'm opening the tubs and things like that. See how that angle works. So Doyle Witch, so on the video on the 19th of June, apparently I said I'm filling my wax up with pen again. Awesome. Might have to try and say that on purpose again in the future. I know there's been a few comments when I came out with that phrase, and I didn't even realise I had. Yeah, had no idea. Sometimes I just get my words muddled up and I don't even notice. The waffles have been going on for so long, I'm even talking nonsense now. She only noticed, she said, because I say it all the time when she's diamond painting. 201 019 4685. I don't know what the relevance of that is. That username is, if it does have a relevance that's wide known. But she uses, or he uses, tweezers to put ABs down. They find that the easiest. Yeah, I mean, I used tweezers the other day on this whip and chat to sort of give it a go. And I think it's something I should probably pick up a little bit more. It seemed quite nice to sort of put them down with tweezers. I don't know whether the checkerboard method would be the best way when using tweezers. It would be getting them in the little gaps that would probably make me reach for a pen to sort of push them into the space. But she's really enjoying the June waffle and says thank you for taking the time to do it. It's my pleasure. I'm enjoying it. Okay, E. So let's get some of this block done now, and then I'll deal with all the bitty madness up there in a moment. Pauline says, do you do anything over the diamond painting before I put it in my display book? No, I don't. I use tape, just normal double-sided tape, to stick them onto a piece of A3 card, but that goes on the back. And that's just to stop them moving around in the display folder and staying sort of in the middle so they look nice. Apart from that, I don't seal them or anything. I will occasionally seal a partial diamond painting because it does have bits of glue that are that are exposed, that could potentially stick to the inside of the display book. So I often seal my partial diamond paintings, but I don't seal any that are full drill. Whether that be round or square, I don't tend to seal either of them. I tend to just stick them in my book. And that's that, job done. I don't even think it's getting out the paintbrush to do it. I think it's washing the paintbrush. Once I've done it, that's the problem. I can't be bothered. I've recently done like an off the canvas item, and it's sat in my craft room at the moment, still, just because it needs sealing, and I've not quite got round to doing it. And it's a 2-minute job. I think it's just the messing about, not so much putting the sealer on, just messing about washing the brush. It's a 2-minute job. It will not take long at all. I think it's something I just have to be in the mood for. And I'll do it eventually because it's on the side and it keeps staring at me. And one of these days, I will just take a look at it and go, oh yeah, go on then, I'll do that now. And then think to myself, why did I take so long? It's normally the way. Somebody else has mentioned, fill your wax with more pen, did I hear you say? Yes, apparently you did. Laura, that is exactly what I've been told to have said. And I believe it. Yeah. I've definitely got words confused and the wrong way round before. It's not on purpose. I think it just catches me some days when it's been a long day and then I'm chatting for quite a long time I think I just lose a little bit of focus. Okay, I think that's all the E's. All the small E's anyway. Oh, that diamond does not want to go back in. Kept jumping out the tray twice. Teresa New says she's enjoying these whip and waffles for June, and she also has 2 of the pens I used on the 19th. I actually don't know which pen I used on the 19th, but I like all my pens, so it's definitely a good choice. Irene from South Africa saying she loves the waffles and the trays. Awesome. I love how many different countries there are that watch the YouTube channel and that get something from the tips and the tricks, and the diamond painting community is awesome. There are nowhere near as many, what could we say, bad eggs as you could potentially find in many other hobbies and groups and things like that. I don't know what it is about diamond painters and often crafters in general. The crafting community is 99.9% good, which is amazing and awesome all at the same time. Sherry says, which Disneyland would you go to? She's curious. She does say which ones are open. Is it all countries? I actually don't know which ones are open. I think that would possibly depend on each country's restrictions. But I think I'd go to, is it Orlando? The main Disneyland, if I had a choice and was forking out for it, though 2 of my daughters have been to Disneyland Paris and loved it. So, you know, if it came down to cost, then I'd still be happy to go to Disneyland Paris, I think. And I wouldn't necessarily be going for the rides. I'd be going for everything else. All the other things that you can see is what I'd be going for. But it's one of those things, it is just magical. And therefore I think it'd be great fun. And a very good excuse for missing the whip and chats as well is being in Disneyland. Sharon, she laughed until her belly hurt when I said I needed to fill wax up with pen. Awesome. Makes it even better. She said she does this a lot, and she was so happy that she wasn't the only one that does it. No, there's all of us out there in the world. There are many people that are commenting and saying that they do the same sort of thing. I think it's like those people, and the saying that when you mix up the names of people or children. I know my mother-in-law used to do it all the time with the kids. She always used to be shouting the wrong person's name and wondering why they weren't paying attention to her. It's just a common thing, and apparently it has something to do with love. I know I'm sure people say it with names when you get names muddled up. It's something to do with loving everybody that they're reeling the names off to, because it's something to do with it mainly being family that you do it to. Like, you don't tend to reel out all 5 family members' names when you're talking to a work colleague, but you do when you're at home. I don't know. We'll call it my love for diamond painting. I'm all up for that. I hope that was the letter, yeah, it was the letter J. The wax has gone in this pen again already. I really need to get a glue dot video done while I'm still doing these whip and chats and save the video for later. But get a glue dot in my pen. I've never known the wax to keep disappearing like it. I'd never normally have to wait this long. Or, sorry, not wait this long, have to fill it up this quick. It's just not normal. Which is probably why it's annoying me. Because I don't normally have to do it. I can see why people have always been so keen on to find something that works better than wax. If you're having to fill it up as often as I've had to this past month. But we have had quite a warm June, so maybe that's why. Even when we've had rain, it's been warm. And believe me, we've had rain because we're the UK, but it's still been warm and sometimes quite muggy at the same time, which is probably why it's not helping the wax. Marianne says a great off the canvas item she's had for small storage is she purchased a jewellery box that was on sale. I've seen those, I'm pretty sure I've done one or two myself. After completion, she removed the inside division area, so the dividing part, and was left with a perfect box for her pens. She's not sure if it would be large enough for full-size release paper, but it could be used for many different small things. Love it. Love the repurposing of items. I do remember somebody put on the Facebook group, I think it was soon after the video was posted, I think, if not a few hours later. The 28 little storage box containers that you can get. In fact, let me grab one. Oh, if I can get into my storage box. So these ones that come with the little 28 containers. She says that's perfect size for the big release papers. It's 6x4. I know I've got some big release papers somewhere, but they're not quite as much to hand. She had some of the inside bottles that just wouldn't, she couldn't get them to clip shut properly. So she kept the outer box and release papers fit in that. So I might have to have a look through because I have 8 to 10 of those boxes that have the little boxes in. Because I think I found them on Amazon at one point. They only ever come up at this price every now and then. But they came up and they were only £5 for 4 boxes. So I think I ordered a set, and this was when, well, this was it was a few years ago, but quite a few of the kids were doing diamond paintings then. So it must have been probably over a year ago. And I think I'd lent one to one daughter. I think another daughter had used some. And then I spotted them on the same offer again and decided to pick up some more because, of course, mine were disappearing here, there and everywhere. So I've actually got quite a few of them. And while I still use them lots, I could probably spare one to put bigger sheets of cover paper in for if and when I do need them. I've had them, I think it was Diamond Art Studio sent me some. I'm not sure if it was this painting actually came with some as well. have to go back and look at the unboxing because I actually can't remember. But I think this painting came with cover sheets as well. And while I've used some for cutting down for this, I know there's been a few different companies that I've got them from, and I've not had to cut them all down to use in my normal storage. So they're sort of floating. Maybe I could corral them all together and put them in one of those boxes. That might be a job for one day when I fancy messing about with storage. Right, let me put that down. I need my AB pen. Firstly, I want to pinch one purple for in there. And I've got wax on the end of it, so let's see if I can scrape that off. And then I need a few for here, and then they're going to be glow in the dark. So while this pen is quite willing to pull them out of the pot without going on a tray, and I don't have many ABs left in white, I'm going to fish them out. That one's upside down, but I need to squeeze those in anyway. And then we just have ABs to go, not ABs, glow in the dark, of which I have loads of these. So I need that pen. So Linda has said, for the things that move around like easels, you can get a standard silicone mat. So somebody else mentioned a silicone mat to make them more secure. Her local cheap shop has them either like a drawer type liner or a baking mat, and she says either will do. So there's definitely a few options to stop your easel moving. Susan says the museum putty works great for keeping her easel in place as well. I don't know if that's more of a permanent solution, Susan, or whether that can be a temporary one. I'm not quite sure how museum putty works. There is somebody else that made a comment as well about the little silicone mats or something with it. Maybe it'll come up in tomorrow's video. Christine says, she says hello to Steve, Dave and Rose. She said, so glad that we put her between the men. She was shouting Polly when I was mentioning a new name. She also says she's ordered a white tray, but if you run out of that shade, please feel free to send me whatever you have on hand. Oh, that's lovely. We have sent you a white one, Christine, at the time of your message and at the time of your order coming through. We actually didn't have any colour in stock and we were printing to order. I think we're caught up, but I don't know what orders have come through while I've been doing this video, but we were sort of caught up. You know, it's only a day or so anyway that it's really taking. It was the beginning of the week that it took a little bit longer than a day for an order to go out, but I appreciate it. But we are sort of switching the filaments about according to what people have ordered. Okay, so that is section 6 done. I'm kind of glad we've not gone down here yet, because I think, you know, this sort of design that is down here in purple is quite nice to have not done yet. Though watch it, it'll come in tomorrow's now. But I am happy that we have got a little bit more of this side of the painting done, even if we save the bottom corner till last. But yeah, that's it for today. So thank you so much to everybody for watching, and I'll speak to you all tomorrow.